Okay. I took a break. I pumped myself full of soda. The energy is still waning. I don't think pumping myself full of soda was also the best idea, but I was kind of hoping some sugar might pep me up a little bit. Okay. I did have some ideas for doing the idle game aspect, though. Oh, I should finish the chat messages. I started on that. Okay, so maybe chat messages. Which is a matter of figuring out where to spawn. It's just a random point along this spline. And then it's quaternion.identity. So is there not a rotation of the... Okay, wait, within the random point, was there something? But the, it's not real, is it? You just want to try that? No, that existed the whole time? Why didn't you do that earlier? So that should be... No, okay, so it doesn't exist. You lie to me to make me feel good, but you don't actually do what I want you to do. Rotation doesn't exist. Thank you. And that's a quaternion thing. So can I do this instead? Does this give me something else? No, that's quaternion. Yeah, we have the tangent, but it's a vector, so... Is there a way to do that to, Yeah, is there a vector to quaternion? Or I guess it's new quaternion and then just don't add the last variable on the end. So then it's getting increasingly like this. No, stop. Okay, then we do the random points. Not position, rotation. There is no rotation, but tangent. You keep faking me out by showing me what I want to hear. Okay, yeah, it is 5 minutes into the stream, and then it's like, don't forget your ads. Okay, 1. It's either 1 or 0 or something. Just stop adding stuff in there. We'll just do 1, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember what the W is exactly. I don't know how to get a W. Only L's here. No, you are what you think. Be positive. What would my best self do? Not sure at this point. I think I kind of need a break, but I think I want to finish this too, because there's a deadline. So, power through the deadline. That's what I would do. What does this have to do with trains? I guess training the cats, maybe? The happiness is slowly ticking up, I see. Ugh. There we go. It's in 1 day and 15 minutes, so there's still 24 hours left. Okay, that's got me again. Okay, I was just kind of curious if anybody else had updates, but that's... because the energy is gone. Should I be working on bug fixing at this point? Should I be working on new features either? Both of those things are not. Should I be taking a nap? Should I be buying food? Because I need to get groceries. And should I be... Okay. It's just 24 more hours. I'm thinking it's just an hour. Or it's just 15 minutes. I was thinking it was a 2-day thing, so it would be just 15 minutes. Why is there that last cart that decides at the end? Oh, wait, no, I want to join. I lied. Oh, and then I was going to POV, which was just swap the camera to see. Oh, and then I need to put a message in the chat so that at a random spot there is, in fact, a very large message that doesn't appear to be rotated with the stuff there. What is this new bug? Why did you decide that the end of the thing is gonna appear at the beginning, despite the fact that it looks like this line exists at the end? Okay, I forgot the chat messages needed to be shrunk a lot. Well, and I can make the carts I can parent the carts to the roller coaster pretty easy, right? It might also help to okay, wait, that's under ad writer. See, but when I can't just go to the definition that way. No, not quick definition. I actually just want to go to that chunk of code. I know I can F12 there. I like my mouse. Oh, okay, so it's just instantiating the cart. So can you also do the, yeah, the parent, which is this, which is game object. Transfer. Okay, there. So now the carts are under the coaster as well. Okay, I need to shrink the chat message. So, chat message, where you at? So you were absolutely massive. I think it's okay if it's small. Okay, so that tangent, because it might have been tangent 2, might have been better. Oh, and let's check and see the actual text on the chat message here. What do you look like? But it's basically if I put in a nice fill paragraph. What is that gonna come up with? So if I get some lorem ipsum. Let's give me a big old paragraph. Big old honkin' chunk of text. Oh, that's not a chunk of lorem ipsum, that's just the standard lorem ipsum passage. Give me that. I'm basic. Give me the standard basic lorem ipsum. And then if I dump that in there. Yeah, okay. That tells me I kinda need to change this a lot to fit some text in. So 40. I think I want to set. And then we shrink the scale. I don't think I actually want to shrink the size of the text. This is the chat message. And then I think the height of this. So probably closer to this. And then if I scale this down, that's not actually going to do what I want, is it? Yeah. So then I guess it is the text size. If I do like 10-point font, that fits a nice message in there, but that's a little small. Okay, so shrink it just a little bit. I am kind of going off of the extremes and then oh, I guess that doesn't shrink the text all that much when it's that much text. That's fine. A lot of the messages are not going to be nearly that big. And is there a way to make it fit a little better? Yeah, probably. Am I going to mess with that? Not right now. Oh, wait. Okay, and I did shrink the size of the chat bubble a ton. Yeah, doing it so it'll barely fit your messages. I think it's only it's those intro messages of, oh hey, here's the update on my life and my projects. I was also going to just pull up the previous version and just have that running, because I think that's a good idea. It shows off what I've done so far and what I need to do by just sitting on screen. Yeah, going for a walk, I had lots of ideas for like adding the idle portion of it, like all the numbers for, oh, you can add more coasters, you can add more riders, you can add a queue for how many riders are on a coaster, you can add more length to the coaster, like you can upgrade the speed of the carts and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of numbers that you can mess with for adding the idle aspect, which I think I kind of want to do simply because I keep calling it desktop roller coaster, and right now it's more of a stream roller coaster. And if there is a full day left, then I feel like I can add some numbers to tweak and then iron out some bugs. Although what I think I probably should do is iron out some bugs and then add some numbers to tweak, but Does that last lonely? Okay. Yeah, okay, so I did fix the thingamabob there too. Okay, so then the question was, if you do my channel, and then you type message. Oh, battery running low. Oh, this version has the massive messages, doesn't it? Whoops. Okay, maybe we don't do that. And then this version, the POV, which is C, does this have a chat message to look at? There should be at least one little chat message, right? Oh, there is a message that just got clipped through. Oh, I guess I could do the obvious thing of where is the message? Well, these are not parented to the, Oh, it's in the end! That doesn't help anybody. It's at the start. Okay, this message here. Why does it look... Is it upside down? Is that what's... It's upside down. Okay, so... I want you to rotate none around this. Okay, how about none around this angle? Okay, how about nothing around this angle? Is it... There we go. Okay, so that's the message. Oh, I just wanted to rotate around the Y, I think. Well, no, I kind of wanted it in line with the spline. You know what? I can't do a look at because it won't. Well, I guess I could look at whichever of the. Thank you for the test message, by the way. So I guess I could look at whichever writer is active, or it could look at the isometric camera. Also, can I just spawn the chat messages at the beginning without... I don't need to test the full thing. I just need to test that this is spawning stuff correctly. So, we're going to do a spawn message, which is going to do the thing I'm trying to test, which is this. And you're going to be just test message. No. Why are you working so hard? I just needed a basic test message. Stop helping me. No, I don't like the fact that I can't... I don't mind that it's... What are you... Ay, ay, ay. See, now I can't tell what is the code that it's trying to add and what is the code that I wrote. Okay, so now... At the start, just do a loop of spawning messages. Because it is just picking random points and stuff, so... Just do what, 10 random messages, spawn message, 10 times and then see what the messages look like. Oh wait, or do a build of the game without the messages so that I can have it running for the stream. Okay, so don't do that. Because the previous version is obnoxiously bad about the messages. And then I don't want to do the example in this build, because I want to do a build that I want to just throw on the stream. Okay. Yeah, so now it's going to yell at me. You're doing a loop 10 times of nothing. The whole point was to do just a build that can be played with while I work on this. I guess that is the nice thing about this, is that it can be tested while it's also being worked on. Just because it's an idle stream game kind of thing. Yeah, so how easy do I think it's going to be to add all this and to iron out stuff to then get around to the idle game aspect. Well, the hides I could also turn into like black boxes. Well, because I think even if I did like the if I textured the inside of a thing as black, I think you'd still see the light inside of the object, so it's still, yeah, I don't really know what the ends are gonna look like, but okay, so hopefully that should have the messages removed, so that shouldn't explode immediately. Okay. I think I'm just gonna skip this. I don't think I'm gonna care about resetting the speed on the end of the track. If they get faster over time, that's fine. I kinda need a... This is where I need to put it all into a Trello board, that I don't want to go make a whole Trello board and stuff. Okay, so... Is there a follower distance, like a minimum follower distance that I can mess with for fixing that bug? Oh wait, I was gonna try to finish the messages. Okay, I was finishing the messages, then I will fix the bugs, then I will add the idle aspect. And will I spend a lot of time on this tomorrow? Possibly. As much as I'm feeling burnt out and fried, I think the idea of skipping work to work on this is also very appealing. Despite the fact that I'm also going to be skipping work to go to a board game thing. Well, that one I put in my calendar as a thing that I'm going to do, as opposed to just taking some random sick time. But I also hesitate to take sick time before going to a convention, because at the last convention, I did end up sick for 3 days. And I did end up having to take sick time. Not having to, but it was definitely like, yeah, I should have taken some sick time. Because I did not get anything done. Well, I got less done than I usually do. Which is somehow more nothing. Okay, so the test was... This should just spawn messages immediately to test where the heck they are. Because this is kind of... Okay. You should also be attached to the coaster. So parent it to the coaster, the grate, if you would. Oh wait, the thing that I changed was this text here. Okay, yeah. So then I should just pass in the string. Yeah, message. And then message. And then here it's... I am curious what it does about a... Okay, so it does let me actually type things. So now do the name and the message and the spawn message. There we go. Clean up the code a little bit. And the spawn message at the top needs a message. So here's a message. But I can't even do goofy code before it puts its own solution in. Yeah, because I keep seeing conversations about AIs. It's gonna be a long time before AI is to the point of taking jobs. And I also seen things of it's gonna be next year. It's gonna be next year. It's gonna be next year. Now, I think it is going to be, I think probably next couple years that it'll actually start really taking our gerbs. Because as much as I complain, oh hey, it's not working out the way I want it, it's also working the way I want it. There's enough instances of it working, as much as there are instances of it not working, that it's going to take a while to iron out some of those instances of it not working. But so why are you upside down? That's not ideal. I feel like it shouldn't be the tangent, but I didn't know if the another, like, what is just the curve? The tangent is the, or is it tangent 2? Yeah, I don't know that I was feeling dubstep. This is all the way hard into like dubstep. So I'm sitting here dancing, but I'm like, dubstep is just going a little too hard. Let's see, what is this one? I don't know what this is. Electronic. That tells me it's probably going to be dubstep. Oh wait, Holdo. I was listening to Holdo recently, right? There was a song that I was addicted to, right? So what about the rest of the stuff? Oh, there's not a ton here. It's good stuff, but... yeah, that one. Good song. Okay, well, we'll listen to this a couple times over until I get sick of it. So... DreamTech probably has a function to get a random position along the spline and a rotation at a specific distance along the spline. Well, that's what I did with the random point here. So I have the like get point, and I just put a random point in. Okay, so then maybe a get rotation. Okay, so spline computer, let's just go through all the things. So get point, position, rotation. I think that's just the rotation of the spline itself, not the points on the spline. Which is why I was doing spline points. Oh yeah, but the points are the exact spline points, just generally along the spline. Yeah. Okay, wait, if I do like random, didn't seem to come up with anything, right? I feel like I put in the word string tech random point. And I don't sample, because I think it was like the sample thing, right? Is it sampling a point along the spline or something? Yeah, travel. Start, distance, direction. Evaluate position. Get samples. There's lots of stuff in here. And I don't know what the heck is useful. Get a point tangent. Get sampling values. Yeah, okay, percent index. And then a lerp. Yeah, I'm just not familiar enough with it to... Like, picking a random point is not too bad, but that also doesn't give me a rotation. And I thought I had the words Dream Tech, random, position. Yeah, because then I went and looked through the manual for random, and it didn't seem to have much. Yeah, it's distance to a spline. So they're going through the spline points. And setting the points. I don't know that that's... Yeah, it's also not offset. Because ideally it would be offset to the side. Well, it would be offset to up and to the side. What does spline.evaluate do? I'm assuming spline computer evaluate. It returns an evaluate. That doesn't seem to tell me much. The documentation. Yeah, with the point of like I get tired standing, but I also get tired of sitting too. So I'm like, it's just. I think what I really need to do is move around and stop. I need to get away from the computer and stop working on stuff. So evaluate. And then I hit enter, because it doesn't just search it immediately. There are two methods for evaluating a spline. Evaluate position is the light way, but it only returns a position along the spline, while evaluate returns all values that the spline can provide, and writes them to a special object called a spline sample. Okay, so evaluate requires a spline sample object to be created and passed in order to work. It's usually good practice to define this Do you really have to think that hard about zooming in? Or are you not zooming? You do. You have to think really hard about zooming in. Jeepers. Okay. Requires a spline sample object to be created and passed. It is usually a good practice to define the spline sample and initial variables and reuse in order to reduce something. However, in this example, the spline sample is defined just before evaluate, so it can work when copied. So spline sample, new sample. Converting world units to spline percentages. Get output from spline tracers. This sounds like something that you could use. Why are you here? And why are you clipping this? Save GG bot. Because then it's also going to say at the end, virality, 50% of 100, which is like, yeah, it's not viral. None of this is anywhere near interesting for most people. I'm fine with that. But I don't think when I did Grun, I don't think it was popping up with clips. I'm like, Grun, I feel, is a little easier to riff off of and to clip. But no, you're going to be clipping the, oh look, you changed the volume. Gee, thanks. Again, this is an AI thing that, like, it did get me one clip that was like, okay, this is useful and helpful, with the other clips being like, not so. It's only half an hour, but I'm like, I'm sitting. Doing more spline nonsense. Doing bug fixing now. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna, we're leaving the messages for later. I think I'm a little too fried for it. Which I got a few hours I can work though. Okay, but the messages do pop up in some way, shape, or form, if not at a good rotation or position. So that's the hard part, is going to be the rotation and the position, but at least it comes up in some form. So I could put it down as a bug. Yeah, sure, we'll put it down as a bug then. So then that's the, well, the message. Position, rotation. Okay, and I don't think I'm gonna, reset the speed on the end of the track is just, I don't think necessary. Making sure the carts don't run into each other, I think, is important. I also don't know that that's gonna be easy. But I also don't know if Spline Follower has a specific thing that says, okay, if there's something in front of me, DreamTech Splines FAC. Let's hope this fucking thing works. Find the closest point on a spline. Yeah, that's all. Because I really just need a random point and rotation on a spline. Doesn't feel like it should be too bad, but look at the evaluating part. Okay, splines are evaluated using the evaluate method. It takes an argument of type double and can either return a spline sample result or write to an existing result to preserve memory. The argument value must range between 0 and 1, start and end of the spline. So a spline computer and a spline sample evaluating at 20% through. And it produces a position, and then 30% through. There's a sample, and then spitting out a sample position. Does this also have a rotation though? Because that seems reasonable. I have a spline computer, so we'll do a spline sample, and we'll put in a random percentage there, and then see what the sample position returns, because that is a position. And I think it's more the rotation. I have some kind of random point. I guess it is a point, not a. Okay, so this is the spline computer, and then I want to evaluate it at a random. I don't need to be worrying about that, but it will also take me just a moment to update this to be between 0 and 1. So then that gives me a sample, and then that sample, what can I pull from the sample is a rotation and a position. Okay, wait. Yeah, okay, so it was, I just needed to use the right thing. So this random point is less necessary if I can get a position and a rotation from the sample. Yeah, that makes sense that there is a better way to do that. Okay, the documentation from the FAQ is more up to date. Okay, yeah, it kept pointing me back to the old documentation thing. Okay, so now this is sample dot rotation. Aha. And then I still need to figure out how to offset it. Yeah, it definitely feels like spring when I get the sun at the right angle going through the window. It's like, oof, ow. That's my eyeballs. Okay, so now what you got nothing. Yeah, I know, I was still in prefab mode. Yeah, I didn't think that was very interesting dialogue or good dialogue when I played Borderlands 3, and yet here I am thinking, what you got nothing. Most hated, well, I don't know. People really hate Pickle too. People really hate Borderlands. And nobody more than the fans of Borderlands. This looks like they're all doing it around the... let's switch the camera. It looks like they're all the messages are huddling around start. Yeah, finally a rotation. Oh, they're on the old track before the new one was generated. Yeah, okay, so it's that. It restarts. Oh, there's a message. It was at the end. Oh, you don't even see the ones that are at the beginning here. They seem to all have picked the very start, though. Except for the one that's at the end. There is one message all the way at the end here. Oh, this is a new one, though. Wait, what are these Oh, these are just the random example messages. Okay, but then... it's paused. So So there's your hello. Oh, this is... Yeah, okay. Yeah, it does seem that the new messages are on the track. Let's see, then you just sent another one. Yeah, okay, and then they're rotated correctly. So now I just need to offset them. Ooh. Then I can also say it has a train of thought, too. Okay. So now, how do offset is the question. Let's see. But now that it has a position and a rotation, and I don't need to mess with the rotation, I just need to mess with the position, so I can just offset it based on its... So now that it's at the right rotation, so then it's... Yeah, I was gonna say, it's moving them along their transform.up vector. Yes. I think I want to move them left and right a little bit too. So they're not directly above. So that they're off to the side a little. Like I was showing with the... I don't think I have the video anymore, but the Regal Cinemas definitely had it off to the side. Oh, come on. I watch so much flipping YouTube. Why would you think that it's an issue? Okay, but it's... At the beginning here, it's flanking the... Oh, I guess that one's right in the middle, but that one's flanking off to the side. Yeah, these are flanking off to the side. But that one's in the middle. But I think a lot... Yeah, so these billboards are off to the side. Yeah, off to the sides of the track. Not just above the track. I mean, I guess I could just move it left and right then. Yeah, exactly, instead of advertisements. Put the chat messages. So maybe I just slide it over to the side then. So, the position is actually going to be a new vector 3. And it's going to be the transform.right x. Why would you say that? Plus just like an offset of like 3 or something, I don't know. And then whatever its transformed that position is. And then, oops, yeah. Okay, I keep seeing what I want and moving away. Why are you adding it here? No, just along the X. I want to slide them to the side. I can slide them to the other side. I think probably with a 50-50 chance of sliding it to the other side. Yeah. I would have gotten there, but yes, you did save me. I guess minutes of time. Because it would take minutes for it to load and run. Yeah, okay, so it's gonna take a minute for it to load all of this. And then I run it, and it's gonna take me a minute to do that. Yeah, okay, wait, these spawn messages should be... Wait, It's after everything, right? Yeah, spawn messages is after everything has been created. But I do wonder if that's why they were all at the beginning with the example messages, is because they were... Okay, so the... Yeah, these are all the sample messages. Oh, no. These are all the previous messages. Why did they all... They just all grouped up in a different spot there. What the heck? Okay. Oh wow, this straight up is not healthy for that thing. Oof. Okay, so let me do a test message. And that dumps that. Where'd you go? Yeah, okay, this is the song that I was listening to on repeat for quite a long time. Okay, you seem like you're not positioned correctly. Huh? Oh, because I forgot to do that for the other ones. There we go. So it's position. And then slide it. 3 is probably not enough. But we shall see. As long as it's at least partially offset. Do I want to listen to this one song on repeat? Now, the one I was listening to recently is that John Bellion has come back after 6 years. Okay, thank you, Seribot. Wow, that's crazy. I saw the pink of the, like, new message for just a frame. Okay, so... It feels wrong. It feels like you guys are still in the wrong spot. So let me do... I could have used that bot message. Dang it, Sari. Oh, I guess dang it, Sari bot, because, Okay, so that's way the heck up there. So wait, where is that message? Okay, so I should just do... see if I can read the chat here. Okay, not when it's in a thing there, but chat message transform plus equals, and then that plus an offset. Oh, duh, yeah. Here I am trying to... Okay, yeah, duh. So there's no offset. Dang it, I was literally thinking, oh, maybe I'm feeling a little more awake. Because I'm having some successes here, just a little bit. I was gonna say, I don't know that it's multiply, I think it's just plus the offset. Because it's got the plus equals already. And I don't know that it needs the plus equals necessarily either. It's just the... Oh, the right. Okay, so then just give me a vector 3. Why the heck did you do that, you stupid mother fluffing thing? I didn't need that. And well, it's probably because it's healthier and better to do that. Well, because the right is still a vector. That's why I was doing the one specific thing there, as opposed to offset just being a float. Because I think if I changed it to a float, it's gonna yell at me. Yeah. But yeah, I'm good with doing that as a vector 3. But yeah, okay, so that hopefully should slide it along the right based on, I'll even multiply it, but yeah, and that makes more sense. No, wait, that doesn't work for vectors. Yeah, that's why I was just trying to do Oh, you're saying... Oh, yeah, duh. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I already had some floats going. Yeah. So let's just take the vector that is the... Yeah, no, that makes sense. It just took me a little while to... I get what you're saying. Yeah, just multiplying this vector by this amount. We'll just slide that along. From where it is to where I want it to be, which is offset a little bit. Okay, so... You... have a new offset variable. 3, maybe? So hopefully that'll slide it. And then I can say the chat messages are kind of done. And I can say I have a train of thought. Ha ha ha, lol. Oh, they already look like they're offset. So yeah, just switch it to POV. I mean, I probably should just look at them in the scene, but we'll see who gets there first. Now, is it readable? Probably not at this speed, but... It doesn't feel like it's moving super fast. I think these turns are probably not helping. I guess when I'm watching that ad, it is these long straightaways, and I think it put the chat messages on the not straightaways. Or it might also just be kind of small. That's making it a little harder to... Okay, I might want to slide them up a little bit too. Okay, yeah, because that message, it feels like you could almost read it. Yeah, they should be offset a bit up. The camera's offset upwards from this line. I agree. Meaning we'll just slide it up the same way. Or the same amount, too. Okay, yeah, so just slide it up and slide it right. Could I do that at the same time? Maybe. Do I want to think right now? A little more. I think the food is digested. I think the soda's kicked in. I think the time of day is ripe for doing things. And I think it's going to quickly peter out. Hoping to get a good hour of solid success in, but we shall see. I'm also realizing the audio might be... Oh, it is gone because I got rid of all... because it was complaining that the entire world was exploding. So it has all these chat messages. I think I can get rid of the example ones. Because they do not seem to want to... Oh, 3 might be a bit much. So again... a test message. Where'd the test message go? Did you seriously have to pick the very beginning? Again, did you seriously have to pick the very beginning? Okay. Yeah, you got a lot. Yeah, you got a nicer place for a message. There we go. So maybe I do want to blow up the messages just because the... So back to very large messages. So now, can you actually get a chance to read the message? No. So I lied. Let's do... Got shrunkified by a ton. So let's do... much bigger. Because I am realizing they did like giant billboards. And it's still not super easy to read them. I guess a giant billboard, sized message, and the offset. I think I'm just going to bump it up to 5 as opposed to something ridiculous just because I think I do kind of want it closer to the track, but a lot bigger. And then I could just make the coaster slower. Okay, and I got rid of, let's remember to just get rid of the example messages because they're not useful. Okay, there we go. I guess this would be... I don't know that I need to be fully remaking the thing, do I? Twitch read. Okay, no. That to me says that it's not actually connecting correctly if I don't refresh everything. Okay, so now that it's fully refreshed, I do a test message. Well, it's definitely visible there. Okay, and I might do a... might make them disappear after a bit. Because they are very large. Yeah, I'm kind of seeing why people don't typically use a roller coaster for... Oh no, you could read it that time. You could see what I said and who said it. Even if it was at an awkward angle. Did it freeze for a second there? The heck was that? Let's see, your messages. Yeah, it's readable. Okay, so I think I do need to move a little further from the track still. So you're not going through the message. But not a lot. It is surprising to me that it actually is somewhat readable. Okay, and I don't mind the fact that they are, that you can see through the different messages. Okay, so that's the floating chat messages, and that is the message position and rotation. I'm gonna just call that good. Okay, so, and in the spirit of calling that good, another one. Okay, so then I will have hit a train in terms of a line of animals. I will hit a train in terms of a engine, I guess. Even though this doesn't have an engine. It's a roller coaster train at any rate. And it will have hit a train of thought through the Twitch chat messages. So that's 3 different versions of train. So I feel like the theme has been hit. So now the second question is... how long do I have to make the jam? And the question is 23 hours and 13 minutes. Use the game jam to trade your abilities with splines. I guess I could also put that in the... well, that's if I get the added idle aspect of it. I can also say training. Training to have a bigger, better... roller coaster or theme park, I guess. Okay, so the ratings were also overall opinion of the game, how well all the categories are sticking together. I think in terms of a desktop toy, I think this is hitting that. I think this is interesting and fun for a desktop toy. How much you enjoy playing the game and how satisfying the mechanics are. That is non-existent. There's not a game to play. Yeah, the mechanics are vaguely satisfying, I guess. The act of riding around in a roller coaster. Oh, I do need to add a time limit to the creation of the messages. So... yeah, there's a dedicated quack command. Like, that's... gotta count for something. So... is this another script? Well, we'll just do another script. That's fine. It's just gonna be a super simple script of... and I guess it allows me to do something more with the thing. Okay, yeah, just a super simple script. This is just the chat message. I think I've used message chat and chat message in a few different places. Oh, I was about to say, I'm glad that the inside of the carts came out modeled well. And then I just, then it was like, oh look, you can see directly inside of the cart. That's not... yeah, I don't think I hit the low poly style super well. but that would make sense because I'm new to it. Yeah, there's just so much of the like look you get to see inside of the model. Okay, so now chat message. You can be put on here, and you're literally just gonna say explode after a certain amount of time. Well, I know there's the IntelliSense. Oh, destroy this. Or destroy game object after the time. No, you had it. Okay, so you only have 5 seconds for your message to be on screen. Which I think it's gonna look a lot uglier when it's in this mode. In the just going across the screen mode, but... Wait, did I do a build? I think I might have done a build and then I got distracted by other stuff. That's the one problem with writing down all the things to do, is that I start doing them. But then I continue just bouncing around between them instead of finishing one of them. Okay, so that is the... Not the cart. The message. The chat message now has a built-in, it destroys after 5 seconds. Okay, so that's chat message, I think. Finally done. Oh, this should be able to maximize the window. Okay, so let's do a build. And then see if I made it so that you can maximize the window. Oh, there's 2 different versions running. Okay, let's not explode my computer by having a bunch of different versions of this running. Oh, meaning I might have started up a build, and then I just forgot to get rid of the other one. But this should just be building, right? I didn't hit build and run, or did I hit build and run? Says that also means it ran over the old version, which I guess is fine. I have the stream. I really want to see what I did at a previous version, but that's unlikely. I did hit build and run. So yeah, it just did start up another one. Okay, so now, if you do a chat message in this version, it should pop up with... Yeah, okay, nasty black stuff all over the screen. So I think it looks okay if you're in like the point of view. Yeah, okay, so now you can see the message way off in the distance. That's fine, but if I switch it back to this mode, so I can make it, the 2 different cameras can have 2 different layering modes, and then the chat message is only visible in one layering mode. Because I think if I do messages like here, it's just gonna, yeah, give me big black boxes of bad. Okay, I don't know where that box went, but yeah, okay, so then it's just gonna pop up with these big nasty chat messages. I guess they should be rotated so they're just kind of, yeah, so I keep expecting one to hit in the middle place. Nope. It just does not want to hit the middle. Yeah, no, that's what I was just saying, is that I could put them on a different rendering layer so the other camera doesn't see them. So that is the chat messages layer. I guess transparent effects doesn't really matter. And then the isometric camera. Shoot. Do I remember how to see the different layer types? There we go. Don't do the transparent one. Okay, so now we hit go and then see if so we do join the channel. Okay, there's everybody. Then we do a message. Then we pause it. And say, should that be visible in the camera? Yes, that should. It's right behind everything. Or rather, where's the camera? Yeah, okay, so that should entirely be visible on the camera, and it's not. Okay. So that was a quick, easy fix. So I didn't even put that down as a bug, but okay, I guess it was a quick, easy fix. Didn't need to be put down as a bug. Okay, I did not check the maximizing the window. So I think it's defaulting to that full screen maximized. Great, now am I gonna need an emote for every single body sound, every mouth sound? Get a hiccup emote too. Yeah, okay, so this version does not let me resize the window. So go back to the project settings and then say not full screen window. So just windowed. Yeah, just give me windowed. And then do, as long as it's resizable. Well, okay, wait, so then I can just go back to maximized windowed, but as long as it's resizable, then that should work, right? Yeah, it is kind of crazy to me that I do feel a little more energized. It hit the time to be a little more energized. Sugar hit the Am I gonna yawn again right after I say I'm ready to go? And then it's gonna be, no, you're ready to go to bed. Okay, so now I can resize the window, move it around wherever. There we go. No, what am I doing? Oh, that one, the switching to the POV and then doing the reset action. Oh, that was the full reset with the button. Okay, but then doing the reset action still had an issue, right? So go POV, and then go reset. Hey, okay, it did. So that camera thing is fixed. Okay, good. Duckies? Wow. Took a while. Yep. There's still the occasional invisible cart. That's hilarious. Okay, so... yeah, I'm just gonna say that one's done, because I'm not gonna do it. Well, it's more of like I should just remove it. It's not a bug. Wow, they're taking a long time to actually like spawn on screen. They are working though, right? I don't see why that wouldn't work. Is it really extended off the end of the screen there? Like, that's the original posse. Is it not adding? It was E, right? Okay, at least, yeah, so my E's are coming through. So I don't know if the ride command is coming through though. Oh, I did do reset on my end. I don't know if that, okay, so let's do that. Meaning that's probably a command I should disable when I finish it, if that is causing issues. Okay, so now we do like a ride. Okay, there's a duck, there's a duck, there's another duck. Okay, so it's the full reset of the scene causes issues. Meaning that shouldn't be accessible. Okay, so now is there something in this blind follower that says don't run into the other followers? Oh, the big messages now? I mean, let's go into the POV and check. Should be. Yeah, still a little annoying that the spline's not updating fully. I don't know if there's like a delay that should be done. And the messages do only show up for 5 seconds. So that needs to be like a... I think I see a black box. I thought I saw a black box. Maybe not. Okay, this is the time to send it. There's a black. Can't really see the message because it's super far off, but... Oh, I guess I don't need to worry about the... So I could make the delay on the messages super long. Because they're not visible in the other scene. Because that was the issue, is that they were kind of sitting on that other scene. But since they're not sitting on that other scene... now I gotta have the chat messages follow this blind too, and then... Then I can get a literal train of thought going. Nah, I like kind of the just fly through random chat messages. At least for now. I don't want to. Oh, the end one was right at the beginning? Oh yeah, and this one they're only showing up for 5 seconds, but... Okay. I guess I could put down the bug of the... So coaster and models in the wrong place. That's not an easy fix though, unfortunately. I think that's gonna be a pain. That is 2 invisible cards. Not just 1, there's 2 of them. 3 of them. There's 3 invisible cards. Okay, so I was trying to see if I can make it so the cards don't run into each other. Getting your own full coaster going? Yeah, looks like it. Okay, the... carts are running into each other. Is there a way in the spline follower, maybe? To say... Yeah, no, there's 2 coaster trains. There's a follower follow speed. So... Can you detect? Do you know if there's something in front of you? Follow mode? What is the follow mode? Oh, physics mode. Okay, wait, some of this I might need to just mess with the stuff in the... here, because I'm like, wait a second, do these have... yeah, you have a box collider, but you're ignoring it. But that might be because of the follow mode. Okay, no, that was the time versus uniform. Here, are you... It's okay if you loop. Fine, that's fine. Yeah, physics mode does sound like... There we go. Aha! Rigid body. Assign a rigid body component. To this, I guess we'll just keep adding to this. So, physics, rigid body. Switch to fixed update mode to ensure. Smooth update for non-interpolated rigid bodies. Did it mean in the rigid body, or did it mean in the... in this? Fixed update mode. Update method. Fixed update. Aha. Okay, so now... do that. Does that make that so that they don't... I mean, if they just run into each other, that's fine. If they bounce off of each other, that sounds hilarious. There's so many invisible ones. Or maybe... oh no, this is just green, because I don't have the green screen going. And then you immediately show that this is inside of itself. But I don't know that the collider is super huge. So if I increase the size of the collider on the prefab for this, so size along the Z. There. So do not allow a view inside of the. Okay. Offset it along the Z. Other way. Not that much. Okay, maybe not that much either. There we go. Okay, so make sure that the back of this thing and the front of this thing have a little bit of space. Let's see if that causes it so you don't see the inside of a duck butt. I do not want this game to be about being inside. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not the fast. Because it's not like it's when it's the speed is really slow that it has an issue. I want it to be slow though. I want to have those moments where you can just sit and read the Twitch messages that are next to the thing. Yeah, and I don't know if there's a Yeah, because it's just doing the follow speed. Well, and it's capping the follow speed. I don't know why I did the audio in the middle of all of that. Some audio stuff can go away from the middle of the speed stuff, but... Oh! This is not in fixed update, is it? Can I literally just slap fixed on this? Yes, okay. That might help now that the physics are on fixed update. I do like my duck models, but I don't want to see the back end of my duck model up close like this, to this degree. Nope, it's still... It gets to the top of the hill and says, doesn't matter how fast I'm going, I'm gonna be inside the next cart. Yeah, very much inside the next cart. Okay, that is painful. So, that's looking like a... Not a quick fix, meaning probably gonna do that a little later. Because I got some other bugs that I could squash as well. Probably say the fixed updates. Oh, disable the speed change for a moment and just see what the physics does. So then it's all of the speed stuff. That's true too. Okay, I'm not doing anything with the audio anyway. But I most certainly am not going to disable the quack command. That's going to stay there. I guess not that the quack needs to be in fixed update, but... Yeah, it still needs some kind of speed to go up a ramp, though, is the issue. Or not. Kind of glitched their way out of that thing there, but... Wow, they're having lots of issues with some of these wiggles, but... It's definitely not as smooth. It doesn't look like they're inside each other, though, which is good. And it's still going. It is still moving. I don't know how and why it's moving. I guess it has some kind of min speed or something. Okay, coming out of the start is not happy. But yeah, okay, some of those sharp spots are not happy either. I can get it nice and smooth though. What is it, like C2 continuous or C3 continuous or something? Okay, it's that start box is causing issues there. Oh, that's a good test, yeah. Yeah, okay, so they're not... When they're spawned close enough to each other, they don't separate. Let's see if that decided to put me inside of the... No, I picked the... Yeah, I don't know enough about DreamTech spline physics to be to fix it. Okay, where's my cluster that I... Yeah, okay. The cluster is having issues. I guess technically I can solve it a little bit in terms of... Okay. That is... Well, okay, it's not a matter about spawning it at a certain point. It's about making sure that the... as long as, like... If there is a cart on the start where it's spawning at. So... Yeah, you see seizures. We're trying to mess with the physics to see if I... Because I was getting sick of looking inside of the model. I was like, I don't want to be in the duck's butt. And I was hoping the physics might solve it. But that does not appear to be the case, so... This is semi-transparent cart. Wonderful. Okay, so I might do back to transform for now, just because that was smoother. I'll take a smoother ride over a glitchy one that... Yeah, I don't know how to fix that either. So... Okay. So, we're skipping that one. Audio not working. That was a matter of all of the cameras were... The camera is available, the audio listener's not. When I turn it on, it says, oh, all the cameras are all picking up all at once, despite the fact that I have a bit of code in here to say, please don't. Like, I'm not editing while it's in play mode. It's not in play mode anymore, at any rate. Okay, so it's when you switch the camera, it should say if this is active, then disable all of the cameras, which it seems to be doing that, and then disable all the audio listeners. And then only enable the one if it actually selects it. When I hit play, it says there's 7 audio listeners, and then I add a writer and it says there's 8 audio listeners. Yeah, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5 audio listeners in the scene. Please ensure that you don't do that. I paused it. Stop telling me. The game's paused. Why are you continuing to spam messages? Okay, this coaster camera. It's not active. What do you mean? This is the only camera that has an active audio listener. I paused this. Who are you complaining about? It has to be the coasters, because each coaster was complaining about there's an audio listener. Yeah, okay, I disabled the audio sources because it was picking it up 7 times. Oh, except for the quack. The quack was still going. That's necessary. But these are disabled. I don't know why it says there's 5 of them in the scene. That's disabled. That's enabled. Excuse me. That's enabled. Excuse me. That's enabled. Excuse me. Okay, that's where it's getting the 5 audio listeners. So only the first one is disabled? Oh, do they start enabled or disabled? Let's just make sure they start disabled. So when you add a writer, just make sure that your camera and audio listener are disabled. Why is the first one fine and then the rest not? What the flippin' hell, man? Why you doing this, you dumb mother? Is this the cart clone, hopefully? Yeah, okay. Okay, so make sure that when you start, the camera is disabled, the audio listener is disabled. So now let's see if that explodes. And then if that doesn't explode, then I can maybe add the audio for when you go up and down on the cart. Okay, so now do you explode? Aha, you don't appear to be exploding. Aha. Oh, you guys aren't anywhere near the spline. What? And then they were like, oh, wait a second, let's fix that. What? Okay. The spline did not seem to update correctly. This was that shouldn't be related. Okay, so now, if it doesn't explode because of the audio listeners, I can go here and actually add this back again. And let's see if this gives me a little bit of audio. And then I can call it done. Kind of, sort of, hopefully, maybe. Okay, not exploding, not exploding. Why are you not... What in the flippin' world? Oh, I did change it back to transform from physics. And apparently that, changed some things. Why is it decided at the last minute? Oh, maybe... Nah, I lied. Okay, is it the fixed update? Is it the physics? Okay, I lied. Go back to rigid body because that was closer to working even if it was jank. I also didn't hear anything, but I think the audio is playing a little quiet anyway. So... pause the music. Try that again and see if it's playing audio. And ideally it is, and then I can move on to something else. I'm not hearing a whole lot. So the cart clone has... I lied. A camera which has a disabled audio listener. Oh, that cart clone. It should be enabling the one right here. Oh, so the one that I'm on. Let's try that again with the one that I'm on. Oh, disabled the physics mode and then kept the rigid bodies. Actually, yeah, let's try that as a quick fix. So, rigid body, or rather box collider. Yeah, because I can't get rid of the rigid body. Or disable the rigid body, but I think it's if it's connected to a box collider. Okay, now if I go back to here, let's say transform. Okay, so now the two things that we're eyeballing is whether the sounds are working and whether the ride is smooth or not. Ride is still not smooth. And sounds are not playing. If I pause and go to the cart that I'm currently on. Oh, probably gravity pulling on the rigid bodies. Oh, wild. And then he decides, oh, wait a second. I lied. I updated. I'm in the right spot. No, you're not, but okay. You can pretend all you want. Okay, so this cart and this camera does have an audio listener. This cart and this camera does not have an audio listener. That makes sense. That's fine. And the audio for these things. I mean, because the quack command can be heard. It's just a matter of the... Oh yeah, I disabled all of this. So if I re-enable this... That's the audio there. So then let's see if this also helps with the... Okay, so I might get rid of the rigid body, depending on what this does. Why does it feel like it's playing like... That's not the sound effect that I did, right? Unless it's going backward. And the whoosh sound should be playing. Maybe we switch them? Because I feel like that whoosh sound just doesn't sound right. And then the gear sound, which I'm not even hearing. I thought that one was boosted. And then the physics, I think if I just try getting rid of the rigid body, maybe we'll see if that gets it back to smooth. As smooth as a baby's bottom, because that's what people think about when they think about smooth, is baby butts. I think silky smooth makes a little more sense, but... Okay, I think maybe that audio just sucks. I didn't think that's what I did for the whoosh sound, but... Also, the gear sound should be playing, right? Keyboard and whoosh. Okay, no, I heard the click that time. Okay, this is a whoosh sound. I think you hit the nail on the head, is that it is in update that it's saying play the sound. Yeah, it's in fixed update. Yeah, okay. He's just playing it a billion times over. There's There's a way to determine if it's already playing the sound, right? Gear audio source dot is playing. Yeah, there we go. Is false. Yeah. I've run into this before, and I've forgotten before. Okay, so if it's playing, play the sound. How about if it's not playing? No, not you. It's not playing. Play the sound. And then the sound should loop. And then it should just switch. Okay, but I was hearing the keyboard that time too. So I might need to switch these back. I think it might have just been hard to tell because, well, yeah. Maybe I don't need to switch them. I don't know. I should just test it, but I switched them. Okay. So now it should only play it when it, and then loop it. It might already be on here. It is not. Okay. That's a better idea. Is just loop the sound and just play the sound once. Nope, it is backward. So I switched it, and then I switched it back, and then I switched it again. Shoot. Okay, that's sounding a lot better. But I think I will need a mute option, because I think it's not really needing a lot of audio for what should be a desktop kind of experience. Okay, so again, it was just the obvious starting the sound every update. Okay, so hopefully that fixes the audio. Yeah, the whoosh volume should have been on velocity. That's actually not too bad to make. Yeah, and I could also just do it. I could also just do the sounds when you're in this mode too, instead of at all times. Yeah, okay, not the cleanest, but it's the idea of the thing. Which is every game I make. Especially because it's a game jam. I think that's also the thing, is that I say, oh, this is not finished, and it's because I spent 3 days on it. Of course it's not going to be super finished. Okay, so... yeah, making the sounds actually attached to what's going on speed-wise. Okay, so I actually kind of like that idea too. So it's like if it's at the min speed, then do the gear sound, and then if it is heading downward, then the gear audio source dot volume is equal to the follow speed. It's probably not gonna... because the follow speed is... Why are you adding a max speed? Okay, the follow speed is... Oh, wait. No, the divided by max speed would give you the... actually, no, I lied. That might be what I want then, right? To give me essentially a percentage? Because I believe volume is 0 to 1. So then that should give me a percentage, maybe? And then otherwise, just do full volume to make sure that it doesn't get super quiet. Yeah, because it'll hit the bottom, still be heading down, and then get quieter, so it needs to make sure it does go back up to max volume. Because it is a float, I believe, right? Yeah, it's a float. Okay, so hopefully this will make the sounds a little more... I still think it works to have like just the up and down. That works, but yeah, if I can make the whoosh actually attached to the speed, and if I can make the ratchet actually attached to when it's pulling it, that would be good. So, is this... Yeah, it sounds like permanent whoosh. But it's also not hitting min speed either. And then I guess I could check if the volume is... which cart is this? This is this last cart, it looks like. So, you have an audio listener, that's fine. You are playing audio at full volume. It's just straight across the... straight up there. There we go. It's closer to permanent whoosh. The ending's a little confusing when the track disappears, but... Yeah, okay, so there is that moment that it stops at the top and does the ratchet sound. Oh, it blends between the two. Yeah, okay, I don't need you to blend. Yeah, you love to blend your sounds and stuff. You love to blend your animations. I love my hard stop. Give me that stop motion animation. Okay, the coaster cart is the one doing the... Okay, spatial blend. Doppler level spread. Feels like it's blending it. Yeah, this is a blender. Why is it blending? Yeah, because I definitely don't want the ratchet sound to be happening when you hit the top of the thing and it starts heading down. It's not necessary. What do I need now? It's blending the sounds a little bit. So you hit the top of a ramp and it's still doing the ratchet sound when you go down a little bit. So I kind of needed to cut off between the two sounds. Which that seems like that fall off is pretty strict there. Oh, logarithmic. Linear, there we go. Linear roll off and then just... I lied, not you. This one maybe? So there, just switch. Let's see if that does it. I just needed to cut between the two. It needs to go ratchet sound, cut off completely. And then the whoosh sound, because it's based on volume, actually will blend it a little bit, I think. Then a nice big brainoid message just saying, what do you need? Okay, somebody was doing the ratchet sound for some reason. Oh yeah, it would make sense that it would pick up speed if it is... If most of the cart is down between the start and the end point, then yeah, of course it's going to just continue to pick up speed. Okay, so I think I also want to... Oh, it's as simple as just on the ISO camera. Turn off the audio listener. So the audio should only happen when you're in first-person view, I think. Okay, so audio working. Should be able to maximize window is working. Improve the ends. Oh, carts speed up over time. That's fine. I just realized what was happening there. The sounds, I think, are actually okay now that I have them working. Oh, this is that, yeah, that extra issue that I don't really know how to fix. Let's see, do I want to... I guess the windowed mode allows you to mess with the resolution settings. So that's kind of there, too. Yeah, and I don't have menu buttons for them, but I do have buttons for adding carts, longer track, switch camera. And then I do have the sound effects for all of these now, actually. They're not the best, but they're there. And that's... I could add that. I did add the coaster colors already. Yeah, okay, and then the... feature to here. So probably like an arrow or something to say... Okay, actually, this is a good point to do another build. We're just building all the time now because it's really easy to just throw it on my stream and have it be tested on the side. If anybody wants to put in commands, then nice, easy testing. Okay. Yeah, so then the question is going to be, do I want to call it quits at this point? Because it's fairly close to 8 o'clock. Fairly close to just kind of capping it and putting videos and stuff. And then the question is, do I want to play hooky from work tomorrow? Because there's still a day left on this jam. Because this is a 3-day jam and not a 2-day jam. Yeah, okay, that's because there's still 22 hours left. And I'm very tempted to just play hooky from work and to work on this. And actually add some game elements instead of just interactive elements. Especially now that I looked at this list and I'm like, that bug list actually got fairly squashed. Excuse me, the ISO camera should not be. Did I re-enable the... Okay, nope, I lied. The ISO camera should not have an audio listener. And then here, the audio listener for the ISO camera. Let's set the camera active, and then that's for the writer. And then all the writers should have their... should all be turned off at the beginning. Right? When I hit start. Or no, it doesn't matter. The prefab should not be here. The coaster cameras, audio listener, aha, should be off when you start. That's always what happens. You cut and print a build and then go, oh no, there's a typo. Okay, no, I'm about to just start this again and then test the audio, so. Would you stop? Who is... Who's picking up the audio here? Because ideally, in that mode, I don't want it to be playing audio. So the ISO camera does not have audio. And the audio listeners here, it's just the writer that's being enabled. Yeah, when it adds a writer, it makes sure that the camera's false, the audio listener is false. Here is saying that the writer is false. And then here it just says that to true. And it's just the ISO camera that's toggling active or not, which is not the audio listener. So if I just remove this straight up, the ISO camera active is true at the beginning, right? Yes, ISO camera active is true. So now we hit play and stop trusting that the build is good. And then hold on, because it's going to be busy for like 13 or 14 or 15 seconds. There's no audio listeners in the scene. Yeah, but it was listening to audio when I didn't want it to listen to audio. So now we hit join, then we hit switch the camera. There you go. You happy? There's an audio listener. Okay, so what in the world? And then we add a component, audio listener, and say, I lied. I don't actually want you to work. I just want you to exist so it doesn't yell at me in Unity. And then we hit play. And nothing should be enabling it or disabling it because it didn't say null. Oh, I couldn't find an audio listener. I just added an audio listener. What are you complaining about? There's an audio listener right here. Okay, it's just a warning. I might just let it go. The warning is just going to pop up. That's fine. I don't want there to actually be any... I don't want it to listen to any audio at the beginning. I just want it that when you switch cameras, then there's audio. Yeah, that whoosh isn't great, but neither is the gear ratcheting sound either. But I think it's fine if it sounds a little bit like a toy. Because that's kind of they're little rubber duckies on a toy roller coaster on your desktop anyway, so that's fine. Okay, close enough on the audio. So now I can cut it and print it. And say here's the build to play around with for the next, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. Because I think I'm ready to... I think I made a lot of success here. I think I'm good to... Oh, yeah, the ability to change channel names. Because I think there is... It's still too easy to be in the world where you mistype your channel name, hit join, and then go, oh, wait, it didn't pick it up. I think it also needs to have a little message that confirms, oh, you've joined your channel. I hate you. I just got rid of that. Why are you picking it up again? Okay, so... It was just complaining that it didn't have a flippin' camera, and now it just decided, okay, now that there's a camera, we're going to listen to all the audio that's playing. I could either make the... Okay, so here, do you know about the ISO camera? I don't think so. You're just playing sounds, and I think that's fine. Can I deafen the listener? Okay, it's a bug for another day. So this is add. Yeah, let's actually make the ducks related to the people in the channel. And then this is a UI thing. It is 8 o'clock. I could call it quits and then just cut and print a video of me. Okay, so I just finished a build. So let's just run that. Oh, but then it's going to do the audio on top of the... Dagnabbit. So if I hit play here, but this is going to yell at me that the thing is disabled. Right? It's going to give me a bunch of warnings that says, oh, there's no listener. There's not supposed to be. Yeah, there's no audio listeners. That's fine. And I did a build of this, but then it decided to add a listener. Why do I need to ensure that there's always a listener? What if I don't want to be listening to audio at the time? It shouldn't be picking up audio. Because it's like, dang it, I want to show off what I finished. But that includes, I don't want the audio to be playing when you're in the desktop mode. I don't need, this is not the main focus kind of game. This is a side game, meaning it does not need to be playing audio. Ah, shoot. Yeah, I can hear the ratcheting already. It just told me that it was having issues. And here it is. I don't think the volume is doing much either. Wait, is the volume backward? Is it doing more volume when it's going slower and less volume when it's going faster? Yes. Okay, so 1 minus all of this nonsense. Right? Because I believe it is doing more volume when it's slower and less volume when it's faster. But it should be the other way around. I guess I will fix this bug because I do want to just do a video of it actually working. And by fixing the bug, I mean, I guess I need to either not have it play audio when it's in ISO mode. But these are the ones playing audio. I don't really want to... Well, it's disabling the audio listeners, so I guess I can disable the audio source. No, you should just still be able to do the duck audio. Okay, no, I lied. So the gear audio source, when you are in the isometric camera mode. So now that's for all the writers. When you add a writer, get the audio source. Oh shoot, it's a specific audio source though. It's not just an audio source, it's a specific audio source. I didn't want to add the, like, whether it's an ISO mode or not, but if you're gonna be stupid, we'll add it. Okay, serialize the field if it's in. No, it does need to be public. Well, it's either public or getters and setters. Getters and setters are probably the better idea, but it is late and I am tired. And I'm just gonna make it public. So ISO mode. And now it's just a simple here. If ISO mode then if it's not ISO mode, then you're allowed to play audio, otherwise you're not. And now roller coaster here is just going to get the writer component and set the ISO. No. When the camera gets switched, if it's active, then update the ISO mode, I guess. What are you doing? Why'd you add a thing? Stop. Okay, here. And then don't quack. I need it to ISO mode. Is true. Okay, there. Otherwise, random writer. ISO mode is false. Oh, wait, I have that already. It's just this random writer. Okay, there. So now it's just going to disable the ability to play audio when it's in ISO mode, if it's going to be stupid about needing it. Okay, so now when I run the build, does it play audio? Or rather, do I hear audio? I hear nothing. I like this. And then I do this. Oh, did I have it right the first time? And then I hear nothing. Okay. So now we do audio listener. You can come back so that this thing stops complaining. And then we test it again just to make sure that that was not what was causing it to not be heard. And that it was, in fact, the code I just added. You suck! What are you fluffing me, you dumb piece of... Stop playing audio in this mode. That's everybody. That's also the thing, too, is that all of them are... Okay, so here, ISO mode. If it's not ISO mode, play the audio. And then here, when you are... Okay, when you make the object, what is the ISO mode? Oh, I guess here. This ISO mode. Equals false. It starts false. Let's try that. Yeah, I'm realizing calling it quits at 8 o'clock when my bedtime is 9 o'clock seems early. I lied. There. Whatever. Set it to because I'm tired. That's why. Okay, it starts in ISO mode. And then it takes a minute for it to load anything. Okay. Now let's see if that doesn't do errors and does not play audio. Or does not hear audio. You suck. Why? Yeah, you're clearly hearing all of the things. Because they're all playing audio. Okay, so... each of these bastard things here. ISO mode is false. ISO mode true. Okay, so when you add a writer, Okay, or rather, where is it setting ISO mode? When this ISO mode camera is... Okay, so when it is not in ISO mode, then you're allowed to play this. And it's setting to true. That's only when it's false. And then here, when it is in ISO camera active, then for all of them, ISO mode is true. And then only here is it set to false. Oh, ISO mode. And so this is the only spot where ISO mode is. That all makes sense to me. So take the wallet. It's not my wallet. And I can't disable you or it's gonna yell at me, and it's gonna just run it in the build anyway, apparently. Or something like that. Or something is resetting it. Okay, but it also says your ISO mode. No, here. Yeah, ISO mode is false. False, 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 and false. Okay, so then if I go specifically to its start here, and then just say before anything else, set ISO mode to true. What? That's the roller coaster. The rider. It's true, but it seems to be set somewhere, so ISO mode is true. It's checking if it's false, not if it's true. Or it's checking, yeah, here, if it's false. If ISO mode is false, then you're allowed to play audio. Otherwise, do not play audio. Because I don't want to hear audio on the main scene, because this is not supposed to be the main monitor kind of game. And then it's going to be 8:30 by the time I finish debugging this, and then... Really? So I had to go out of my way to set it on start? It just didn't default to the right thing despite the fact that it was there? Saying that it was defaulted? I feel like I'm hearing it on the up. Okay, there. I'm hearing it. I guess I could just turn up the volume instead of trying to listen intently. Oh. I give up. I give up. This is a different day. This is a tomorrow or something, whatever. There's some shitty audio. on this, not even a game, this thing that functions. Now I'm into negative mode because bug is not getting fixed and because I'm tired and because I need to go to bed, and we're just gonna cut and print. We're just gonna call it done, and then I can just go not rate anybody because I don't think anybody's... yeah, it's negative no because I'm tired and the bug's not getting fixed. And the audio sounds bad, and the... oh, I guess so if it does start silent and then I switch it to the other mode. Oh, this is just starting the audio, isn't it? Okay, so... no, I like your idea that it's just supposed to stop the audio. It sounded like it might have been playing from the beginning, though, too. Okay, so actually it said the right answer, and then I clicked off of it, like I continue to do. Stop. Yes, okay, there. So just... does that mean it's going to continually stop the audio every update? Yes. Do I care right now? No. Oh, okay, Kolslowski is... I do remember Sandwich. That was a lot of little ants. Okay, so now there's one last debug thing. Okay, so one last... do I... well, I'll trust it, I guess. We'll do one last build and see. I really should just... okay, let's go over to Kolslowski. I believe I saw Kolslowski here, too. Oh, yeah, and Little Doctor Games is just following me. So I could go over there as well, but... we'll go over here. Yeah, I can record a video on... well, no, I can't. The whole thing is that it's a Twitch stream game, but that's okay, whatever. I forgot that I had the volume up still. Okay, so now we do one last test here.
I've been dilly-dallying a bunch, working on it, put out the parts that I should. I feel that.
Okay.
I got an E on my first paper, an untitled typing game. Wow, you went far back. I can only imagine that the score, because I made that in like less than a week while I was
hey.
undergrad. I can't imagine that the scoring system for that game is particularly balanced. I goes jamming. Jamming's going all right.
Okay, cool. That's a very good time to end it.
Because I'm working on a bunch of things that are tedious and boring, and I don't get to play.
Okay, so now if we have people.
I'm working on all the stuff to display.
Then yes, let's go.
All the proper score values that we want to display, making sure they upstate properly, making sure they hide at the right time.
And most likely, I think I will.
So I've maybe hit this.
Yeah, and then most likely, I think I will skip work, so I might be might be here early to add some more to this game tomorrow morning. But we'll see. Maybe I will be responsible and go to work. I doubt it. I think I'm going to just take some sick time and work on this. So I'll be back tomorrow morning. Let's go raid Kolslowski. But thank you for helping me fix bugs and stuff, so. But thanks for negativity. I picked up at the end. The very end, the bug was fixed. It's all good. So. No, thank you for... thanks, everybody, for helping. It's been nice. So, let's go right here. I'll be back probably tomorrow morning, and I just want to skip work and work on this more. See if I can make it a game instead of just dumb. So, bye.